Welcome all. In this session, we will discuss about ultrasonic machining process. So, ultrasonic machining is one of the mechanical type non-traditional machining process. So, it is mostly employed to machine both hard and brittle materials. Usually, the hardness of these materials will be always greater than 40 RC, that is in Rockwell C scale. And UASM can be employed to machine both electrically conductive and non-conductive materials. In case of ultrasonic machining, we use a shaped tool. So here the tool has a contour that has to be generated on the workpiece surface, and the tool is given a high frequency mechanical vibration, and because of this mechanical vibration the material will be removed from the workpiece surface. The gap between tool and workpiece surface is filled with abrasive slurry. So here abrasive slurry is a mixture of abrasive particles and water. So what happens is that, because of this high frequency mechanical vibration of the tool tends to drive these abrasive grains onto the workpiece surface. That is, the grains will be striking onto the work material surface, which in turns remove the material. So this is the main mechanism by which the ultrasonic machining will be working, and usually this tool will be oscillating normal to the workpiece surface. So in case of ultrasonic machining, the mechanism of material removal is similar to throwing a hard particle into wax wall. So consider this block to be made of wax. So when a hard particle is thrown onto this wax wall, so what will happen is that this hard particle will travel on the wax wall surface for a definite distance. At the same time, it removes certain volume of material from the surface, and the distance traveled and the volume of the material removed depends upon the force by which this hard particle is thrown. So here if you see, F2 is greater than F1, that is force F2 is greater than force F1. So because of it, the distance traveled by this hard particle is larger, and similarly the volumetric material removal is also higher. So this model of material removal is termed to be a throwing model, and we have one more model called hammering model. So these two models we will discuss in the upcoming slides. Now we will look into the basic schematic of the ultrasonic machining process. So here in this schematic we have different components. So the main important component is the transducer part. So here we are using a magnetostrictive transducer. So in ultrasonic machining process, the principle of longitudinal magnetostriction is used. That is, so when ferromagnetic material, that is here the transducer is made up of a ferromagnetic material. So when this ferromagnetic material is placed in a continuously changing magnetic field, this material will change its length according to the energized magnetic field. So here you can see the phenomenon over here. So based upon the magnetic field, this material is changing its length. So this induces a vibration on this ferromagnetic material. So this phenomenon is termed to be longitudinal magnetostriction, and this is used to induce the vibration onto the tool. And if you look into the elongation, that is coefficient of magnetostrictive elongation, this is the elongation of this ferromagnetic material. So this is nothing but change in length to the original length of the material. And the second element is the concentrator, or sometimes it is called as HONE, H-O-N-E, or a tool holder. So the main purpose of concentrator is to concentrate this vibration that is being generated by this transducer onto the tool. Sometimes this concentrator will increase the amplitude of vibration. That is, the transducer will be vibrating at a particular frequency and amplitude. Sometimes a concentrator can be used to increase this amplitude of vibration onto the tool. Here you can see this is the tool that is being fixed onto the concentrator, and we have a certain gap between the tool surface, tool bottom surface and the workpiece surface, and this gap is always filled with abrasive slurry. Here the abrasive slurry is a mixture of abrasive particles and water. And in case of ultrasonic machining process, we use two different types of transducer. So one of which is magnetostrictive transducer. Here the conversion efficiency is around 20 to 35%. That is, whatever the energy that is being supplied onto this ferromagnetic material, only 20 to 35% of that energy will get converted into mechanical vibration. The rest will get converted into heat. So in this case, a cooling water is required to cool this transducer part. Whereas in case of piezoelectric transducer, almost 95% of the energy supplied is converted into mechanical vibration. So this is the basic schematic of the ultrasonic machining setup. Now if you see the tool holder, the main purpose of tool holder is to connect the tool to the transducer, and the tool holder material, that is the tool holder is always are usually made with materials such as monal, titanium and stainless steel. And tools are usually made with relatively ductile materials such as brass, stainless steel and mild steel. And abrasive particles, like abrasive slurry is a mixture of abrasive particles and water, and these abrasive particles usually used are alumina, silicon carbide and boron carbide. Here you can see the performance, that is the material removal rate and surface finish that is being obtained during this ultrasonic machining process is a function of abrasive particle size. That is, if the particle size is coarser, it results in higher MRR, but the surface finish will be poorer. And vice versa is possible with finer grades. That is, if the grain size is finer, then it leads to low MRR, but we will get better surface finish. And the grid size of these abrasive particles ranges between 240 to 800. And abrasive slurry usually consists of water and abrasive mixture in the ratio of 1:1. Next we will see about the mechanism of material removal in case of ultrasonic machining. So various models has been proposed theoretically for this USM, but there are two important models that are being considered for ultrasonic machining process. The first one is the grain throwing model. So this is similar to throwing a hard particle onto the wax wall. So this model is applicable when the gap between the tool surface and the workpiece surface is larger than the diameter of the abrasive particle. Here you can see the gap between the tool surface, bottom surface and the workpiece surface is larger when compared to the diameter of this abrasive particle D. So what will happen? We know that the gap is always filled with the abrasive slurry and the tool will be vibrating at a particular frequency and amplitude. So this tool will tend to throw this abrasive particle onto the workpiece surface. So because of that, this abrasive particle strikes the workpiece surface and is generate a crater of certain depth h and radius r. That is, and this creation of crater is always associated with removal of certain volume of material. So because of this throwing action of this abrasive particle, material will be removed from the workpiece surface, and the volume of the particle removed is approximately proportional to the diameter of the indentation. Here you can see this 2r is the diameter of the indentation that is being made by this abrasive particle, which has the diameter d. So this is one of the model that is being proposed for ultrasonic machining process. So here the abrasive grains are thrown onto the workpiece surface to remove the material. And the second model is grain hammering model. So this model is possible when the gap between the tool and workpiece surface is smaller than the diameter of this abrasive particle. Here you can see the gap is smaller than the diameter of this abrasive particle. So what will happen is that, so there is no enough gap for throwing of this abrasive particle onto the workpiece surface. Instead, what will happen is that the tool will hammer the abrasive particle on the workpiece surface. Because of this hammering action, the material will be removed. So here you can see this is the mean position of vibration of the tool. So here this is the amplitude of vibration. So even after achieving the highest amplitude, so this is the gap between the tool surface and the workpiece surface, so which is lesser than the diameter of this abrasive grain. So what will happen, this tool will hammer this abrasive particle onto this workpiece surface, which in turn this abrasive particle remove the material from the workpiece. So this is one of the model proposed for ultrasonic machining process. So these two models are the important mechanism of material removal in case of ultrasonic machining process. And we will see some of the important process parameters which influence the performance of the ultrasonic machining process. Here if you see the performance of ultrasonic machining process, so it is assessed in terms of material removal rate, accuracy and surface finish. So and these terms are dependent upon abrasives, tool and tool holder and workpiece. So here if you take the abrasives, size, shape and concentration plays an important role. So when the size of the abrasive particle is larger, MRR will be higher. Similarly shape, so the accuracy depends upon the shape of the abrasive particles, and concentration, if concentration of the abrasive particle in the abrasive slurry increases, the MRR increases. So it has certain effect on the performance of the ultrasonic machining process. And if you take tool and tool holder, the material of the tool and tool holder has certain effect on the performance. Similarly, frequency and amplitude of vibration. That is, if frequency is higher, penetration rate will be higher, and amplitude of vibration is higher, material removal rate will be higher. Also, the hardness of the workpiece material influences the performance of the ultrasonic machining process. So here you can see in this graph, so here we can see the influence of grid size on the penetration rate. So whenever the grid size is increasing, the penetration rate is also getting increased. Similarly, if you see the penetration versus frequency curve, so this is from 5 cycles per second to 20 cycles per second. So when the frequency is increased from 5 to 20 cycles per second, the penetration rate is also getting increased. And here in this graph you can see the variation of material removal rate with respect to the amplitude of vibration. So here also you can see whenever the amplitude of vibration is increased, the material removal rate is also getting increased. So finally, we will see some of the applications of ultrasonic machining process. So it is mainly used in machining of cavities in electrically non-conductive ceramic materials. You know, ceramic materials are very brittle, so these are impossible to machine with traditional machining methods. And USM can be employed for multi-step processing for fabricating silicon nitride turbine blades. So the machining will be employed in multi-step rather than a single step for fabricating these turbine blades, and it can be used to machine large number of holes which has very small diameter. That is, here 930 holes with 0.32 mm diameter has been reported. So this is the maximum amount that has been machined with the ultrasonic machining process. And we can also machine dies for wire drawing, punching and blanking operations. And these are some of the machining operations that we can perform with ultrasonic machining process, that are drilling, grinding and milling operations. So this can be machined on all materials which can be treated suitably with abrasives. So if the material is able to, that is, if the abrasives are able to remove the material from the workpiece, then we can use the ultrasonic machining process in all materials. So thank you. So we will see about electrochemical machining process in the next class.